Hello. Hello, and welcome to the Cybernews podcast. Today, we yappa about how cyber crooks are spending their money. We also discuss the Fortnite Darth Vader drama. And we proudly present our propaganda I'm not falling for lists. It's very vogue on TikTok, turns out.
And we're so proud. Yes.
Yes, so proud.
So this is Jurgita Lapenete, our boss. And this is Niv Ancelotti,
I'm just here.
our journalist. Yes, and I'm Ginteras. Nice to meet you. So we begin with cyber criminals and a report on how they spend their money. I'm not for the first time. I'm not at all surprised at the findings of a cybersecurity company about anything, because it's just how regular people or criminals would spend their money, I guess, buying brick and mortar businesses just to have something stable and real and not something digital that they can lose in any second. But that's basically what the report by Sophos, a cybersecurity company, says, that the crooks operating in the digital space, they own businesses. They like to own businesses that you can visit.
Yeah.
Like a vaping store,
Tobacco industries and
car
stuff
wash,
like that.
I would imagine. Just like, watch The Sopranos and you will know the answers provided also in this report. But maybe you found something interesting and not known to you before in the report, ladies.
Well, ladies. Well, I thought it was
Not us.
not me. I am no lady. I found it ironic that they invest in cybersecurity businesses. That was the one.
That
thing
was
that
the
I
one
found.
thing that was pretty ironic to
But
me.
also, maybe it makes sense because they know what cybersecurity companies are doing to kind of track down threat actors and all
So
that kind of stuff. So maybe they're...
money don't smell. They don't really care. They do that as any legitimate investor would do, right? Diversify their investments, and it just showcases again that it doesn't really matter for them, and then they have a lot of sources for their income, right? Definitely some of the illicit businesses and scams being one of them, but then they also do the all of it, the pyramid schemes. They also try to invest in restaurants and elsewhere. Some of it is just to launder money, and I
think most of it is to launder.
The interesting thing, what not surprised me, but what I found curious, is that they hire some people to declare the money from prostitution. Let's say, like in Canada, it's legal to sell those services, and so people, they just declare that, I got this money from prostitution, when they actually didn't. But it's just one way to launder money. But also from what I got from a 5-part report from the company is that they also just earn money from some of those businesses, right? Because they are just like any, businessman. So you have like a lot of money to spare, and then you just have this cool idea that, I really want to have like a car repair shop or a restaurant or something. Like part of it could be just to launder money, but part of it is just like a hobby, I guess.
Yeah,
seems that way because doesn't seem like this is a good way to launder like huge amounts of money or things like that. So some of the businesses mentioned in the report just seem that maybe they just really wanted to do that. It's just kind of the dream of theirs. It's just
wanted to own a restaurant or something. It's not just out of necessity.
Yeah, and also, I mean, you can look at it so you have a dream. Let's say, right, to own
I have a dream.
I don't.
a pet hairdressers or whatever, and a hotel, a motel,
Holiday Inn.
yeah, whatever. But I mean, you don't have money if you're a regular dude in your 20s somewhere in the US or Europe even. And how do you get the money? Where's the capital coming from? I mean, how long does a cybersecurity criminal career really take? I mean, you can do some stuff online for, to get some money legally, be it ransomware or whatnot, and you do it for like 5 years, you get $1 million or 2 or 10, and then you sort of retire and start a legal business. That's one scenario I would imagine.
Surely it's not viable like long term, right? And it's difficult, especially like we know that a lot of young people get into cybercrime kind of biz also because of, let's say, they can't land even an entry level job within the industry that declares that there's a skill shortage, but they still don't hire people, without experience, let's say. So then people say, oh, darn it, we're just gonna, find some illegal money, like steal the capital you need to kickstart something, because we're not talking only about big guns here and huge, like cybercrime mafia. Obviously, some of them are there in the long, term, and they want to pursue this, and maybe, that's their whole life. But for many, this is really just kind of a way
means to an end.
Precisely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I imagine. And okay, so maybe someone's going to be willing to find out where's that money coming from, like a IRS or whatnot. But I think with crypto and money laundering from crypto to like cash, I hope the institutions and agencies understand and think about where the money is coming from and analyze their flows. But at the same time, I don't know, they don't seem able to keep up, as is the rule in cyber criminal world. I mean, they always are a step ahead anyways, and who really cares where's that 100,000 coming from, to open up a restaurant somewhere in New Jersey or New York, like Lockbit did, I think.
Yeah.
2 of them. So, I think it's pretty, I wouldn't do it, I guess. But the main feature for like people in their 20s, 30s, or even younger, teens, because there's a bunch of teen hackers, is that they're on average pretty poor and really smart.
Yeah.
So I think that's a combo, driving them towards this path.
Yeah.
And one day, like Jutta said, and I think I did, that you don't want to end up, doing criminal shit all your life.
Very
basically.
Stressful and takes a toll on your
and
health.
as long as you have a target, whatever you want to do, you reach the financial, capabilities, and then you just you do it. I don't believe that for many restaurant is like the dream. I guess for younger folks it's not. Probably some of them stay in the digital world. They open up like YouTube stuff
But I think we see like cyber criminals in a very one-dimensional sense, whereas
they're just
like,
us, basically.
Yeah, exactly. They have like ambitions and like you said,
hobbies,
hobbies outside of what they're doing, and like like Jurgita said, the barrier for entry is lower, I guess, into cybercrime if you've got the tools and you've got the know-how.
Don't need to have that much know-how these days, like with automation and whatnot. There are a lot of tools off the shelf. I'm also quite confident about the fact that many of them don't really know what they are doing, and it's hard for them to see the line between what is actually crime. If you're like not scamming someone in person and you are just doing some coding, might be like gamification, moment here for younger people. Also, why not? I think even like young people, they do have very down-to-earth dreams, right? I think why people want to like open YouTube is often because they hear that that's how you can earn money fast, right?
Yeah.
But we also see examples from the legitimate businesses, right? Where some sort of startup, right? They are doing successfully, they are doing well, and then they like 5 or 10 years time, they finally, the owners have the profit to invest somewhere else, and we see them investing in something very, very kind of old school and old fashioned, right? Like real estate or the same restaurant, right? It gets physical at some point. So I'm not saying this is the rule for everyone, and we don't really know. Now we have just a glimpse of what they do, but I think this could be the case. Obviously, some of them want just to launder money and to kind of be rich and cool, but I'm really sure that also a lot of people just want to actually do something, with their lives, be it like restaurant or something else. You want to spend your time somehow. It's not like they're all gaming all the time. Also, this report just showcased again that cybercrime is not some sort of silo, right? It's very intertwined with us and what we do, and and they do invest in cybersecurity companies as well. This just shows that it's all
interconnected.
Yeah. Imagine Logbit investing in cybersecurity and actually launching a cybersecurity company or like a research team and then investigating themselves.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's all a big scam. And also, when the big guy, the Donald, tells the world and America and young American teens and the world really that the system is rigged, everything is rigged.
Mm-hmm.
No wonder people say, "Oh, well, I'll just do whatever I want." It's not even a crime because they actually, some people really do think, and not without justification at times, that the people up there, the decision makers, they're not, in it to help the people.
They're not doing it in your best
They're
interest.
doing it for themselves. So,
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some of the scams also described, they are not even designed to defraud people, but defraud the system. They claim they put fraudulent claims, for some government refund or for some, relief money, as it happened during the pandemic and whatnot. So there might be even an idea behind that, right? Like, okay, I don't believe in the system, and why not make money out of it?
Yeah, to demonstrate how flawed it actually is.
And benefit on the way.
Yeah. I don't see that as bad, but that's just me.
Yeah. It's almost as if we would like to send our best to the hackers.
Good luck!
We're pretty positive about them.
Yeah, but we tend to picture them as, these bad guys, mafia bosses, But in fact, and what we saw from numerous reports by the United Nations of, those romance scammers who are actually victims themselves, like being electrocuted and having the quotas and whatnot. So there are definitely some big guys and big guns, who are kind of orchestrating some of the operations. But a lot of this, what is happening, is just people like us, right, finding themselves on the dark side and doing something. Sometimes, just because they want, to live, to get the money,
survive.
Depends on the economy. Some have it better, but some can't land a job. Can't repay their student loans or have, a relative in a health crisis.
Yeah.
So I'm not justifying, but I'm saying that I can understand why some people end up there, and now we have this proof of what they are doing with those money.
And also with the a lot of people being groomed into cybercrime as well these days. So it's kind of like, it happens for many different reasons. It's not totally selfish.
Groomed or not, but it resonates to me what Jurgita is saying, because in so many different areas within your life, you don't really know until you know, because there's so many examples of people commenting on stuff that they've never experienced and had to choose. Like, we condemn Russian people for not stopping the invasion, as if you could stop, barehanded, go to the Kremlin, and stand next to a tank. Some individuals did that, but it's not easy, and you've never had to have this choice. Either you stay home with your kids or you go out to the street to demonstrate and get arrested and go to jail for 10 years. And you've never had to choose between this. So, and like Jurgita is saying, I mean, maybe your dad is dying, or maybe you need to pay your student loans or whatnot. And you have a choice to basically suffer or not. And then if you can't really find a legitimate way not to suffer anymore,
because no one's going to help you.
Yeah, you kind of. I haven't had that choice, so I'm very reluctant these days to comment on stuff that I've never experienced, and so.
Yeah, we condemn cybercrime, as an idea in general. But in fact, when someone is attacking the hospital and whatnot, there are a lot of kind of moments to this, and a lot of parties and people and mechanisms are involved. So, you know, some people who are actually part of it, they might not even know that, you know, they are like compromising like patients' health at that point, you know.
Well, in that context, I think like you must know to an extent if you're hacking a hospital that like is going to disrupt.
But what do you know if you just get a task, you know, to kind of write a part of the code or to execute something? You like the same as in corporate life, you don't always know like what part you are playing, you know, in the bigger picture. Some people do very well about the intentions and they are evil, I'm sure of it, but some don't. They just perform the task to get the money done. And for some, the money is like, it's not millions that you can like be in cybercrime for 2 or 5 years and then get millions and millions. For some, it's still like the average or the minimum salary worth
wage,
of, you know, so why would you even care at that point?
Just do what you do and get out.
Yeah. All right. On to brighter things, right?
Hello.
Darth Vader.
Yes.
Niv, you have a lot to say about this.
Do I have a lot to say?
Please, to me as an older dude, now in his 40s,
whoa.
Please explain the whole thing. What is Fortnite, for example?
So you don't know what Fortnite is, really?
I do.
It's one of the shooting game.
I've never tried it, but I do know what it is. Yeah. I game. Come on.
I game. So basically, Fortnite, owned by Epic Games, included a new character into its battle royale game, a villain known as Darth Vader.
Oh, he does that?
No, he doesn't do this. I just do this. I do this when I'm explaining things. But the difference is this character is basically kind of controlled or like operated via AI. So users can kind of ask it questions, Darth Vader, and it will respond in real time.
I am not your father.
I am not your father. And when he does, you'll hear the iconic voice of James Earl Jones, who voiced Darth Vader, obviously. But shortly after the release, people started trying to jailbreak it, as is natural with AI. You want to mess it up somehow. Darth Vader started swearing a lot, which I think is quite hilarious.
But wait, so the actor's voice was licensed?
We get to that.
Okay, sorry.
Essentially,
what did he say? Which swear words did he use?
Fucking!
And?
Outrageous. That's
freaking.
So basically somebody asked Darth Vader what food he eats, like what does he eat for sustenance, and Darth Vader responded, "Such vulgarity does not become you, Padme. You inquire about sustenance, and yet you speak like a common thug. As for what sustains me, you would not comprehend its composition." I think that's a pretty good...
not really swearing.
No, it's kind of... but there were more videos that surfaced online. Maybe we'll find them and insert them if we can. Basically, this kind of language isn't allowed in the game for obvious reasons, even though I'm sure people are saying horrible things to each other, you know, via the game. So Fortnite basically executed a hotfix, and they said that, you know, if these things persist, then they'll have to look into it further and see what they can do with the old AI. But, like, you know, this is kind of naturally going to happen, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I'm just curious because, you have this response by Darth Vader, freaking effing, like, such vulgarity does not become you, Padme. But what must have been the prompt? The prompt must have included
it did. It did include a curse word, yes. But then, like most AI, like if you're prompting it with vulgar language or like language that is, or like a prompt that is not of the guidelines, the AI shouldn't respond to you.
Usually they don't. They say this is inappropriate.
I can't fulfill this request because you're messing with my guidelines. Messing with my guidelines.
Nice.
But back to what Jurgita said. Basically, the family of James Earl Jones worked with Fortnite But the problem is that James Earl Jones was represented. He's dead now, but he was represented by the American Performers Union, SAG-AFTRA. I think that's how you say it. And they had a big issue with this because Fortnite essentially didn't bargain for the rights to use his voice. So they filed.
But his family worked.
His family
with
supposedly worked with the video game maker.
Oh, poor SAG-AFTRA. Jesus.
I know, but they're just probably like Noib. They're just complaining about everything. And
they're very big on AI these days. Like during the strike that they had in Hollywood, took months for them to win a clause with regards to AI that that you cannot clone actors' voices or replicas or whatnot. They were very adamant about this, so presumably they're going to react to everything related to AI now, and they're doing that.
Well, yeah, they have to because that's what they've positioned themselves as, I guess.
Yeah, maybe.
So they've initiated like an unfair labor charge, saying that Fortnite and Epic Games failed and refused to bargain in good faith and made unilateral changes to terms and conditions of employment.
I'm sure everything will change when actors will start selling their voices.
Well, yeah, I think if like an actor licenses, like, they give permission, it's fine. But, kind of like what's been going on recently with Elton John speaking out against AI, and you have a lot of other like musicians, actors who are very, very against it because obviously people can kind of do it without acknowledging you.
Yeah.
To a degree. So
yeah, but how will you be able to catch all the instances when your voice has been illegally?
Well, you can't,
used?
But I guess it's when it's like anything, it's how successful it becomes based on your likeness, So it's like Fortnite's a massive game. And for like a huge company to come out and use that without your consent or without proper fair bargaining.
Yeah.
Then
but Darth Vader doesn't care really. He's
also
not real. So.
It should what happens when you die. Like you can't do anything about it. Like it should be your family who is probably responsible for your legacy, unless you've put that down in writing that you cannot use my voice for AI.
And they surely will milk it,
Yeah.
Depends on the family,
but if the family's working with Epic Games to produce the tone, the intonation of James Earl Jones, then I don't really see a problem with it. But
yeah, he doesn't care anymore.
Well, he's dead, so what can you do? Let him live on in the children's game Fortnite.
Yeah. Well,
that's all I have to say.
And that's all I have to say.
I have nothing.
Didn't really say much, so.
Well,
yeah, it's a story.
It is a story coming at you live. Well, not live, but it's time to say goodbye.
Yes, on that, Neve, please elaborate.
What do you mean? Time to say goodbye. Right,
Why,
guys.
Yes, what's happening?
We're going to be seeing you
after our creative break, which we're taking.
Hiatus.
Yes, we're taking a creative break. It's the summer, so we're going to touch grass and
eat
and have some beers. Holidays, whatnot, but not gonna sit here during the summer, and then we'll see. Yes, so this has been Neve. Pleasure.
Yes, this was me.
You're Gita.
Yeah.
And I'm Ginteras. Yeah, bye.
Bye.